Welcome back. Another edition of Down and Back with CornDoug. As you can see here, we've kind of teasing it last week and then all week here. We got some news here from Mr. Todd Kazicki. Todd, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Doug? Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming back on the show because, like I said, we've been teasing some stuff and we got some big news to talk about today that we can finally talk about that we've been hinting at and it's going to come. But ACL's finally kind of going to let us branch out on our own.
Yeah. It's been kind of a few years in the making now. I've been working with people like you and Matt and Sean up in Newfoundland, just start growing the sport up there. And Matt's done a great job of being an advocate for the ACL. He was a early on director, especially in Canada. So now with the growth of the sport internationally. Who better to start off than our favorite neighbors to the north, Canada?
Well, yeah. Well, we've kind of been part of the ACL up here since 2017, which I just confirmed with Matt here earlier today that we had a conference champion up here, Corey Golbeck, our first year in 2018. 2019 was Jeff Shantz, and then all of a sudden, the 2019 season was in full swing, and then that Cleveland tournament happened, and kind of everything went to crap.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, we had a lot of momentum going. It was great, and then of course, Cleveland 2020. I don't think any cornhole player will ever forget about that.
Yeah. So like I said, we were kind of our own conference. Well, we started off with the Great Lakes with Michigan, and then we found out that, oh boy, we're going to be in tough with Michigan. But then being able to branch out on our own was just, it really kind of helped us build a base here to where we're going at today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think for as terrible as the pandemic's been, the virtual part of the game with running virtual events, both with an international feel and then kind of your own virtual events up in Canada. It's been just so productive for the growth of the sport. But yeah, now Canada's in a great position to really start developing their different conferences and their different rivalries and things like that. And been working with Matt over the last year and a half or so to start getting this finalized. And of course, with COVID, everything's been slow moving, but I think we're really gearing up now to really launch into this next season in full effect.
So as we've been kind of saying here, so what are people going to expect from what's coming up here, what's starting, I guess, a month from now?
Yeah, well, so directors were able to start signing up today. We've got different levels, and the kind of the structure is going to be similar in Canada. With Matt is going to represent the Canada as the national director, and then we'll have different conference directors. And I believe we've got 5 different conferences laid out for Canada. North, West, Midwest, Central, and Maritimes. So we'll be over the next, upcoming days and weeks and months, whatnot. We'll be identifying conference directors for each of those conferences, and within each of those conferences are different provinces that are going to be part of those conferences. So that's kind of the higher level structure. And then there's also local and regional type events, where local events are typically your weekly events that are, your blind draws, your swaps and things like that. And then your regionals are those once a month events that are singles and doubles. You usually have different skill level divisions. And Canada will be able to use the same 4 conference or same 4 skill levels, or kind of pick and choose what makes most sense for those regions, those local events, and things like that.
So then, within these conferences, then with the provincial breakdown within the conferences, do you have what those breakdowns will be?
Yeah. So Matt sent this to me. The West looks like it'll be Alberta and British Columbia. Midwest will be Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Hopefully I'm saying those correct.
Yeah.
Central will be Ontario and Quebec. North will be Yukon, Northwest Territories, and
Nunavut.
Nunavut, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You knew I was going to struggle with that one, right? And then Maritimes, we've got Nova Scotia, Newfoundland and Labrador, New Brunswick, and PIE.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, PEI. So yeah, so it's
PEI. Sorry,
yeah,
not
but
pie.
yeah, but no, I think that's great because we've like you said, we've already got that base with the newly crowned international director of the year, Sean in Newfoundland there, which we say Sean, but we know it's Amber that does all the work.
When Sean reached out to me, he said you can send that and address it to Amber. So that was a little slip there that he gave me.
Yeah, it's but like I still say, like, I was thinking with them today, just how for them being the director of the year, like for when they start out, they've had no less than 35 people each week out there, and I'm like, there's so many other leagues and clubs that are just wishing they had that many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been great. I've been keeping an eye on them too, and to see those numbers, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah. So then we'll go in with the other issue coming up. So people will be asking within the conferences. So then, what kind of there's conference tournaments within each thing. How many conference tournaments would someone expect to have within each conference, I guess?
Yeah, so the way we do it, have been doing it in the U.S. is that each conference runs 3 conference events throughout the course of the season. Usually, beginning, middle, and end type thing. The last season we changed that up to do 2 conference events, and then each state, which I guess in Canada would be considered a province, had their own state championship. So Canada, I'm assuming, is going to follow a similar path to that. Those are kind of your 3 big events throughout the course of the season for just those players within that conference, and they'll all get together, compete, and players will take their top 2 scores out of those 3 events. So if you can't go to all 3 of them, then you pick and choose the 2 you can go to, and you get those conference level points for those 2 events.
So then, will there be the national point system then as well with it?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, this will all feed off of. We've got the main ACL page, and then we do have an international page that's still being developed. And Canada will have its own separate page off of that, so they'll be able to promote news and standings and contact information and things like that on that page. So the standings will be there. They'll also be on our main page, and you'll be able to filter, like you're able to filter by conference and state. Now you'll be able to filter by country, province, things like that.
Exactly. Then I guess the other big question that's always on everyone's mind is the membership fees. Mm-hmm. With that, so we'll be running the same as with the what they are running in the States now as well.
Correct. So we've got 4 different levels of membership. Anybody can play on the free membership, which is our bronze level. That essentially everybody needs an account within the ACL system in order to be added to a tournament, so that the tournament can run efficiently. You can get notifications when you're up, when your game is done, things like that. We've got a silver membership as well, which for the Canadian pricing will be $10 a player, and that allows your points to show up within the standings. Okay, so the bronze level, you're earning points in the background, but your points aren't showing up in the standings. You've got a separate player profile page where you can see all of your individual finishes and whatnot. But in terms of kind of the overall ranking and whatnot, they're not visible unless you get a silver membership, and that's $10 Canadian. Then the next level up, which is kind of the most popular membership, is the gold membership, and that's $40 US and $45 Canadian. The cost of that, and that gets you a number of things. One being you get kind of reward points. You get 1,000 bonus points towards your ranking. Kind of an incentive there. Let me pull up my diagram here. You also get, of course, your points will show up in the standings. At regional, conference, and open/national events, you also get a discount per event. So if the cost is $25, let's say for an event, you would get that for $20. So you can see over the course of a number of regionals that the membership kind of pays for itself. And then this year, with our digital wallet, last year was our first year using the digital wallet. This year, if you're a gold member, you get to add money to your wallet with no processing fees. So usually there's like a $2 or $3 processing fee to add money to your digital wallet. This year, if you're a gold member, you get that for free. So that's a nice little addition that I think is going to be a pretty popular one to get players to want to upgrade to that gold level. And then our top level membership is a platinum membership, and that one is 120 Canadian for that. That gives you everything in the gold membership. You also get free withdrawals, so no processing fees on withdrawals. If you win money or if you get money and you need to take it out of your digital wallet, you won't have any processing fees on that side. You'll get access to personal statistics, which this is our first full season with the statistics. Last year we had them I think we implemented them about halfway through the season. Wildly popular. That's just kind of the next evolution of the sport. It allows you to kind of see where you've grown, your points per average, or wins, losses, point differential, things like that. And we're continuing to add stats as time goes on, as we gather more and more data. Last year, I think we collected somewhere in the range of 3 million rounds of data for players that were using the bag tracker at events. Sean was a huge one that was using that. He had a lot of data on that. So access to those personal stats at the platinum membership. 50% off this year for the ACL digital network. So if you like to watch old videos of Cornhole or see some live stuff that might not be on Facebook, you can go to the digital network. And then the last thing is early access to at least open events and potentially conference and regional events too, which depending on the area may or may not benefit you. Certain areas fill up a lot faster than others, so having that membership can kind of be key for the players to get that, to make sure that they get in on that, get in on the event that they want to.
So then with that platinum membership, then that does allow them to gain that early entry into the ones that may be kind of close to the border in the States as well too.
Yeah.
I'm correct.
Yeah.
So which is always a good thing, because it's, I'm hoping to get there to maybe lose a few games and play something, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, and this upcoming year, sorry to cut you off. This upcoming year, we should have at least 12. But Trey Ryder, he's shooting for 16 opens within the states. So there should be at least a few within driving distance of the Canadian border. I know we've got one coming up in October that is in South Dakota, which probably a little bit of a hike for some people, but it's at least up closer to the border than we have been in the past.
Exactly. Yeah, our Midwest players would probably be able to travel to that there, but it's just, I'm thinking being able to have kind of like our own thing is able to really kind of open it up for us to possibly go and play more in the States, or even kind of see just kind of how on par we are with them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and every first year of something starts out a little bit slower, a little bit clunky, but certainly the goal is to get some open events up in Canada this year as well. We're really working. I know COVID again, everything kind of falls back to COVID, but really a big push for getting some sort of broadcast, televised broadcast event up in Canada. I know we talked a little bit about that before we went live, but yeah, that is just a big push for us to try to get televised events in a variety of different countries to continue to grow the sport. Exactly.
So I've also had some other new people that are coming to Cornhole because we've kind of had that explosion up here and new players playing. They're thinking that the ACL Canada coming in is just a brand new thing that we haven't been around. So what could they expect? Well, I guess thinking that they should expect almost the same thing that you have in the States. We're just kind of a little bit behind. But what should the new players expect from the ACL to be able to play?
Yeah, I mean the infrastructure is there. There are directors around, similar to a lot of new things. It'll start slow to grow, but as those directors, learn about the ACL and want to get interested in maybe running events that are affiliated with the ACL. It's not just a professional league; it's for all levels. We've got regional and conference directors can offer events anywhere from the novice level all the way up to the very top of the games. So it's really it's an inclusive sport for all different levels, those learning and whatnot. So, but yeah, so you've got the infrastructures there with the different levels of events, and it's from this point, it's growing the director base, growing the player base, and just offering those events so that players have a place to go and play their ACL events.
So now you said that magic word, the professional. A lot of our established players up here, you may have seen a couple of them down in Rock Hill there. Wondering about that pro game. Will there possibly be pros from Canada here?
Absolutely, yes. That is another goal this year, and we've tried to get it off the ground last year. But with COVID, it just there was no real easy access to get players internationally to Rock Hill, so we kind of scrapped it mid-season. But yeah, this first part, probably starting October 1st into kind of December timeframe, there will be some sort of international pro qualification period for international players. And I had a website up ready to go last year before we scrapped it. So I just have to update some of the language and some of the dates and whatnot. But that's going to be a combination of virtual style events and director recommendations and things like that. And our goal is to get this first year 16 international pros from around the world that are then available to travel to the World Championships for Rock Hill. So really that's an exciting thing to come. Everything's like back to COVID, everything just gets bogged down with that. And it's difficult to announce and promote too many of these things with COVID restrictions still in place, especially internationally. But that's one that I know is going to be exciting, and there's a ton of great players in Canada, so I imagine it's going to be a pretty challenging thing to get into that field.
Exactly, and I'm kind of thinking back here now. I've seen, because the ACL had announced so much new stuff here within the last couple of days. Will the conference tournaments that they announced kind of this past, well, like I said, the last couple of days with the top 100 in the conference, will those be also available to the conferences up here in Canada?
Absolutely, yeah. And if it's not 100, that's something that I can work with Matt on to kind of fine tune that to see how that works. If it's not 100 per conference up there this first year, maybe it's 100 nationally, or however that looks. That's something Matt and I can work on, and we can articulate that. And Matt can articulate that to the player base in Canada.
Yeah, 'cause it's just, I think there's so much that we'll be able to do with a lot of people here in Canada, because it's just, like I said, all of our numbers or all of our leagues here that have been growing, and everyone just kind of wanted to be more part of the ACL here with this Canada kind of arm, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a new country, so hopefully you guys don't see yourselves as just an arm, but it's you've got a lot of flexibility here, and that's something that really enticed me when I joined up with the ACL early on, is that I was part of this big organization, but I was also able to grow my own base and stuff like that alongside it, which was really kind of what appealed to me when I started growing. So I imagine the US does things a certain way. I imagine Canada might have a different way that they want to do things, and there's certainly flexibility there that that we can explore and look at the pros and cons and all that stuff before making any decisions.
So I know I've asked a few questions. Is there anything that you may have still want to bring out and let people know about with what's going on?
Yeah, let me. Sorry, it's surprisingly humid in the desert here, so took a couple notes here. So yeah, we do have a new crop of U.S. pros coming in the next couple weeks that are going to be signing their contracts. My goal to other pro international virtual early on in the fall here, so that we can introduce some of our new pros to the world, and then I'm sure there's some new Canadian players that weren't in on one of the first couple that we did about a year ago now. And so just kind of keep an eye out for that, and I'll be sure to share with you and Matt when that time comes. But yeah, getting and at this point we may have enough for a full just Canada and U.S. Pro International, which would be pretty cool too. So that's always a fun event. The pros love it, interacting with the new international players, and so just kind of keep an eye out for that. So.
I know I'm still apologizing to Danny Seals for my couple 29s, but yeah. So I think I have progressed a bit since then.
Well, that's why I don't play in them. The bag tracker makes fun of me when I use it. So
it's not a nice person. It's not a nice person. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to all of this stuff, and just to start. I don't want to say something new, because, like I said, we've already had the ACL up here for a while, but just, it's that new shiny thing that we can kind of get our hands on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the social media, and there I'm sure there's going to be a whole new as Canada develops. There's going to be a whole strategy put in place to promote Canada for social media, for broadcasts and things like that. And I know here in the U.S., once we kind of hit those airwaves on ESPN about 3 years ago now, the sport just boomed. So everybody wanted to look for a place to play and seek out their closest local and regional ACL directors.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to really focus in on is the ACL is, you see, just because you see pros all the time on TV, it's not just for pros. There's a huge kind of base, kind of homegrown kind of feel to the ACL that if once you start playing in it, you start to feel it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we've got, I don't know the exact number, tens of thousands of players that have played an ACL event in the last year, and we've only got 256 pros. So that's a very, very small percentage. So that the promotion and the TV exposure, that's what really kind of getting that repeated exposure, seeing those same players over and over on TV. That's what really gets people excited, motivated about the game, and looking to go out and seek out places to play. So excited to get a couple Canadian faces that are repeat exposure on TV and whatnot.
Well, exactly. And I know that if anyone is in the Southern Ontario area, we are running September 11th is the first preseason ACL Canada event, which is the St. Clements Cup. And I know I've talked to Matt, and I believe we are going to be running a stacked bracket event for that there. So it'll be the first time I'll get to be play in a stacked bracket where I'm not just two and done.
Yeah.
So it's that's something interesting where you're going to have no ties. It's just you play till you get your position.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the format is kind of the best of both worlds. It's a double elimination tournament in the traditional sense, but kind of a mixture with that round robin feel too, where you get more games with the round robin. So with the stacked bracket, you get those 4, 5, 6 games before you're finished. And like you just said, you've got an exact finish within your ranking instead of any of those ties that you would have in a double elimination tournament.
Exactly. Yeah. So for anyone, just if you're new to here and you want to get more information, check the ACL page, and then and what I also love is the app, the ACL app, because I'm able to just find everything on my phone, and it just makes it so much easier. And that those deck rounds that kill me as well too, but just to be able to see where you're at, and like you said, the digital wallet is just another helpful way for signing up for tournaments, because you don't even have to be at the tournament anymore to really sign up.
Yeah, and again, the goal with the wallet too is to make it easy for players to not have to worry about handling cash, and especially with all the the COVID scare stuff now, with passing germs around and whatnot, and then tying in the wallet into the local events. Right. This past season it was mostly for regional events and higher, but this year being able to go into the player app and say, hey, hold my spot, pay with my wallet right then I can just show up and play my game, and I don't have to worry about handing anybody money.
Oh, and the other thing we talked about too is to make it so much easier is you got that QR code that you can just put on the table, and people can just register once they get there that way. It's so player friendly. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, certainly it's new for a lot of people. But yeah, and same thing, having that tied into the wallet too. So when you do go up and scan that code, you'll get prompted and say, hey, do you want to pay with your digital wallet, or do you want to pay cash? You can select from there. So that feature is not quite ready yet, but hopeful. I have given our IT a bunch of items that I'd like to see upgraded and implemented over the next few months. So hopefully that's one of those, because that's just going to make directors and players' lives so much easier.
Well, my only other thing that I hope happens is that you bring up Madden time with you as well too, for any event up here that you bring, any big event, because that's the only time I really get to play is with Madden time.
Oh yeah, well, Madden loves to travel, so if he's there, he'll be there calling out games all day long if you let him.
Exactly. And if anyone doesn't know who Madden is, once you go to a tournament, you will know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
Just don't play him because you think you're going to be able to beat him, and all of a sudden you're down 21-0 within 2 rounds.
Oh yeah, he's a friendly assassin, that's for sure.
Oh, friendly is the key word. Yeah. but yeah, like I said, so if there's anything else here to kind of, I know you got to run here as well too, but anything else that you wanted to say, or?
Yeah, I think that's good. I just, I appreciate what you guys are doing up there. You with on the content side and getting the word out about Cornhole, and especially ACL Canada now. Matt and all the directors that are up there, grinding away, trying to grow the sport. Certainly appreciative of all of that, all the work that you guys are doing up there. So, just keep growing the game or growing the sport, and look forward to meeting, our paths crossing at some of these bigger events.
I've got my fingers crossed. I've got some dates kind of tucked away that I might be able to see you guys down there. But yeah, I'm hoping. I want to thanks that we can finally get this word out to say it's here, it's coming. It's not just it's somewhere down the road. We're here. We're a month away from getting this started, and I obviously can't wait for everything to start going here.
Great. Yeah, me too.
Okay. So again, thanks for coming on and doing this.
You're welcome, Doug. Thanks for having me.
And so there you have it. After months of talking about it, Todd lets us know ACL Canada is official in now. So starting October 1st, you'll see leagues popping up here, or there's already some existing leagues that already have been doing ACL. Point system. We will now be our own point system, ACL Canada. And yeah, so thanks for Todd coming on, finally being able to put all that stuff out there. I know there's already some leagues that are ready to go with this year. I know Adam in Peterborough. I know Evan in Essex is talking about it. Travis Meyer, it kind of mentioned to me a bit in Wallaceburg. He's now got the big gun of Ontario Cornhole. Dean Lang has now moved to Wallaceburg from the KW, so that will really boost up their league and help them out a lot with some giving some people some tips and stuff on how to get better. Yeah, and then we've got Twin Sioux Cornhole up there. I know they're pumped to get some ACL stuff going up there, because they've got Russell Post just across the border with his on the Michigan side of the Sioux. Very ready to be doing some border battles. I know Evan, he's got some border battles ready to go with the Detroit people. So really pumped to be able to get some of that stuff going. And yeah, so it's like I said, it's great to finally be able to have our own ACL Canada and not just be a conference, be a standalone league. So that being said, some things. Remember what Todd said there. Membership. It's free membership. You do not have to pay any other extra fees just to go to one league night. One night, you don't have to pay an extra fee for that. There, you can go and just participate in any ACL league. You don't have to be a member of the ACL, but you can purchase the other memberships. And as we've seen last year with the US, you want to have that platinum membership. Unfortunately, is the biggest one, but just to be able to get into events, and especially the opens, if you're close to border and you're able to get in there, you want to have that platinum membership to get the first entry into that. I know there's been talk of possible open up here. We just need to find venue and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, and then as you talked about, there will be some Canadian pros that will play in all the pro shootouts and everything else that are down in the U.S. So that'll be great to see some more Canadian players playing on TV, and hopefully get some TV exposure up here in Canada as well, as we've had that in the past a couple times to have a couple of the kickoff battles. I believe it was an ACL the WCO Invitational that they had that Jamie Cowan and Scott Sullivan participated in, and then the kickoff battle in 2020 when Cornhole Mania got canceled in Cleveland. I'm done talking about that event. Absolutely done. So yeah, so it's really good. Check out the ACL page. I know they've got a lot of new stuff kind of came out the other day, with regards to rules and with the movement of bags before the end of play, as well as the new step over rule. I didn't get a chance to read all of it, but it looks like you cannot throw your bag until until the other person's bag has landed. So no more of the quick throws to try and catch your opponent's bag while it's still moving. So there's that. A lot of stuff to catch up on. I know a lot of the conferences in the U.S. are now getting their pro qualifiers. So each conference is having a pro qualifier in the States. You'll see a lot of that stuff online coming up here in the near future. Other things, weekend, big event. Apparently, Peterborough was not the only big event going on in the weekend. We'll get to that shortly. Spencer McKenzie's Ventura, California, on the beach. Holy wind, Batman. If you're watching that there, just some crazy stuff going on there. Big winners of the weekend. Matt Sorrell's Eric Davis. Eric Davis showing that, like, he's different partner every weekend. He's going to win something. So yeah, so those two getting the win in the final over right now. Cornhole super couple, gotta be Cameron Belvin and Noah Wooten taking second in that there. So that was great for them to see. But there was just a lot of great cornhole played. I know, big shout out to Woohole Cornhole, former guests Tornado and Lady Tornado for some great action. Being able to, I think they had 2 feeds going there on different courts and getting that going. So that was great. Thankful for them to be able to help us be able to see. And we did get to hear some of the other commentary on their main feed from the one and only Mr. Rob Chismark, who sounds like he's doing better after his medical stuff that he went through. Speaking of medical stuff, not that I have passed over it, but just big thoughts out to Rocky Rockwell. It's a nasty disease that's kind of come through my world personally here, and all the best to you there. I know you can hit up Carly Halbert if you're not friends with her on Facebook or see her on Facebook. She's got the Rocky Strong shirts. I believe Sato Soto is going to start to do some stuff. So if you want to check them out and maybe get some stuff to help him out with some of his medical bills and all what they need to do, that's for sure. Go and do that there. Then, big weekend, Peterborough. Finally, I get to travel for Cornhole again. And I won a couple of raffle prizes. That's all we'll talk about that. It's yeah. So, big winners of the weekend. Brandon Brown and Peter J. using bags that Peter bought off of me earlier in the day because he had some hole shots. The one had an issue, ran into a squirrel issue. Little tough thing. So he wanted to borrow one of my hole shot Cornhole Newfoundland hole shot bags. I said, hey, borrow all 4 for the day. You'll see them. And all of a sudden he came back with an offer I couldn't refuse. He used them for the day. They're now in his possession and took down the win. So finally something that I've thrown gets a win. Just not me throwing. So that's what it shows. It's not the bags, it's the thrower. They were in the top, the A division, B division, won by Mike Broccoli and Tracy DeCoste. Great throwing by them. I know Tracy had a wrist issue come up during the later stages of that there, and she pulled through to get that win. But yeah, those are the winners on the boards. Big winners on the day though, gotta be the Yes Shelter for youth and families. Raised over $2,000. Sorry, no, over $1,000 for them to help them out in the Peterborough area. Mike Ochar, big guy with a big heart. He won the airmail competition. Got the 50% went to him. 50% was going to go to a charity of his choice. He chose all money going back to the Yes Shelter. So good on him for that. I know he's a great friend. I got to meet him the first time down in Peterborough a couple years ago, and it was a fun day. You know, like I struggled on the boards, so went 2 and 4 in the switch holio, but got to meet a lot of old friends, made some new friends, got to see some new players with that, which was just great fun. Big shout out to Ripper. You were trying to get on the show all day. I will give you a shout out to Ripper from Peterborough. I know I got to meet Terry from Peterborough. Guy that he was feeling no pain. Be Mr. Steve Gibby, and can we call him a masochist cornhole player because he wants to be my partner? Not sure how that's going to go over, Mr. Gibson, but yeah, great to see him again. Adam, his brother Dave Hubbard, some great stuff. John Parsons, John, I seen you sneak off real easy there during the night because we went back, partied at Adam's place, had some fun there. More cornhole till it rained at 2 a.m. Having fun there, and who knew that Sean Asp was a fortune teller because Adam Hubbard had free beer at the party afterwards. Who knew that Sean? I guess I'm not sure how Sean wasn't there because we all know what he likes, free stuff. But yeah, so just a great day, and I'm hoping to see some of those people coming back down to KW here. For the St. Clements Cup, calling it a pre-season ACL event. Going to be working the stacked brackets for that. So if you haven't had a chance to play in a stacked bracket, don't know what a stacked bracket is, great. As we talked a bit with Todd about it, no ties in the standings. So you're going to play, so you get regular double elimination plus games. So you're going to kind of play off excuse me, until you kind of get your seeding and where you go. So you might get 4 extra games, you might get 5 extra games, you might get 1 extra game. You're going to get extra games beyond the double elimination, which I get to play more than 2 games. So yeah, so that's that coming up. I know I'm hearing there's going to be a big turnout for that there. It's going to be a fun full day starting. Registration and practice starts at 9:30, I believe. I want to say 10:30, 11 o'clock. We'll start with the doubles, head to singles, then do a blind draw after that, play on a ball diamond. So we will be going till we are under the lights there in St. Clements. It's always a fun day. We got a lot of skill level there. Is just come out. It doesn't matter what your skill level is, come out, because we've got we've got the intermediate right up to the advanced, and everyone has a blast there, having some fun. Some new players, some advanced players. Everyone gets together, kind of having some fun. Throw some tips out there for some people, and yeah, like I said, it's just some great fun there. So check it out. Saturday, September 11th, in St. Clements. I've heard possibility if you're in the Peterborough area, talk to Adam. I heard they got a bus coming down, like a traveling bus to go to Cornhole. So yeah, so check that out if you're in the Peterborough area. You might be able to see it. Adam, if you want to stop, pick me up on the way. I'm not that far. But yeah, so that's that. Some big news coming down on Wednesday. Cheyenne Renner, former guest, now partnering up with, I'm hoping, a future guest. Would love to have him on the show. One of my favorite players. She will be partnering up with Mr. James Baldwin. She announced that on the ACL Facebook page earlier. So yeah, so that's that. Trying to think if there's anything else, and I can't see anything else kind of on the radar here. So that's enough rambling for me after you got to listen to all the big news there with Todd, with the ACL Canada finally no longer a conference. We are a standalone league. So yeah, so don't let the American fool you in that league, in that name. We are going to be run by Canadian people, and it's going to be fun. All stuff, all memberships, everything, as he said, will be in Canadian funds. Payouts will be in Canadian funds. So when you see ACL Canada, it's not Americans, it's Canadian, full-on Canadian. I know some people are out there saying that it's you have to be American to play. No, you don't. Don't listen to that there. We're up here to have some fun and to show what we can do up here in Canada once we get to some pros and that there. So it's going to be fun. Big news. I'm really excited for that there coming out in the show. Other than that there, as always, check the sponsors. Octane Cornhole, octanecornhole.com. Discount code CornDoug gets you 10% off of all the stuff you need. I know we've sold a bunch of the brand new Apex SS and the Turbo SS. So what that is, if you're not sure what it is, same fast side for both Turbo and the Apex as before. Slow side is a bit slicker. It almost feels like a pillow. You could use it as a pillow. It's a really slick material. It's getting used to for me, but I know a lot of people are really liking it and throwing well with it. So that's a bonus right there. So that's those two new bags. There's still two more new bags to come out to be released at some point soon. So that's Octane Cornhole, octanecornhole.com. Discount code CornDoug, get you 10% off. Then head over to myearfund.com, as it says right down there coming up. Discount code CornDoug gets you 20% off of all your earbuds and your waterproof Bluetooth speakers that you can throw in the pool. Throw it in the pool, and you'll still be able to hear it. It'll float. Keeps it going. I know they've had, even their earbuds have had some new kind of technology come with their earbuds. Check out their website. A lot of fun stuff there and a lot of great products. Then, as always, JC Cornhole, jccornhole.com, JC Cornhole on Facebook. Send Jamie a message. You may possibly get a discount. I think he's starting to lean to it. He's been super busy. Keep him busy in the shop, because then I can play cornhole without having to try and beat him all the time. Just go buy boards. Then I can play cornhole in peace. That's all I want. Play cornhole in peace. Then if you're in the Alberta area, Edmonton, Sherwood Park, as always to be exact, check out Sierra Property Inspections. Talk to Darren there, as it says right there, sierrahome.com. So Sierra Home Inspections. Darren, great guy. I've just seen great things. He's helping out a lot of families. And as always, he does give a portion of whatever money he takes in for his business to a local child cancer center, which I think is just fantastic. yeah, he's a great guy. Help him out. He will not do you wrong, and he will help you with how to store your cornhole boards, where you should put in the house, where you shouldn't. Great guy there. So that anything else is it's on this side. There's the thumb right about there. Just give it a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. It doesn't take much. Just go and click right now. Thumbs up. Another word right. I think it's right here now. It's right. Thumb is there. I think it's right here. It's like a little red word says subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We're at 270. Let's do another 30 more subscribers. Let's do another contest. 300 subscribers will get another set of bags out to people. So all you have to do is just get one of your friends, 30 of your friends, whatever you want. Get them on there. Hit the subscribe. We will give away another set of Octane bags for you for that there. And new for on the audio side. iHeartRadio.com. You can now get the Down and Back on iHeartRadio. So I think that's about it. I rambled on for another 20 minutes here. Holy cow. So until next week, keep doing the bags. Keep having fun. We're playing live cornhole. It's fun. We got a month till this. We got the off season. That's short little off season. We got a month, and we're back playing for points. So as always, watch out for those players on gas because they might just kick your ass.